Sony's State of Play this year had some hype going into it, with fans hoping for announcements of a Days Gone sequel, or further announcements relating to the anticipated ports of beloved Xbox titles to PlayStation 5. In the end, many, like me, found the State of Play to be somewhat disappointing. While I didn't go in with particularly high expectations, little actually stood out and left me desperate for more information, or to play. That being said, there were some trailers and announcements that left an impression on me, for better or for worse. So, without further ado, let's take a look, in no particular order, at 5 hits and 5 misses from 2025's State of Play. Kicking off the hits is Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater. Delta is the only game on this list that I had my eye on prior to the State of Play. Nothing new was shown in the stream following the trailer and release date being leaked ahead of time, but this remake of the 2004 acclaimed Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater is likely to be a good time. I've personally never played a Metal Gear game before, but the gaming zeitgeist has kept this game on my radar as something truly unique that, if Konami's remake sticks true to the original, will be memorable indeed. Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater is set to release on August 28, 2025. Horror has never been a genre that particularly resonated with me, so it was somewhat surprising that The Midnight Walk is probably the game that dug its deepest hooks with its trailer. The Midnight Walk is a claymation horror adventure game that sees you befriend a lost lantern creature, using its flames to navigate a world of horror and wonder. Hauntingly beautiful with a unique and striking visual style, The Midnight Walk offers 5 tales to thrill and chill. Shaping up to be a charming little game, I'll be keeping a close eye on this, and maybe this will be the game to change my relationship with the horror genre. The Midnight Walk is set to release the 8th of May 2025. Onimusha Way of the Sword is the latest in the Onimusha franchise, with the previous release being all the way back in 2018. Onimusha is not a franchise I'm particularly familiar with, but Way of the Sword trailer piqued my interest. Onimusha offers stunning visuals and a style of gameplay that both feels like a modern parry-focused hack and slash and is strongly reminiscent of earlier PS2 titles. Based on the trailer alone, the story looks to be a fun adventure through Japanese history infused with great writing and supernatural elements. Way of the Sword is set to release in 2026. In Darwin's Paradox, you play as an octopus ripped from his home in the ocean who finds himself trapped in an unforgiving and mysterious industrial complex. Drawing parallels to a certain fish-centered animated film, Darwin's Paradox sees you using your octopus intelligence and skills to escape the twisted traps and occupants of the industrial facility and find your way back to the safety of the ocean. Darwin's Paradox looks to be a charming puzzle platformer with a good mix of humour and darkness that will cleverly utilise the natural stealth abilities of an octopus to allow players a variety of methods to overcome challenges. Add a suitably atmospheric visual style and Darwin's Paradox looks ready to charm players when it releases sometime in 2025. Co-op games don't often make the cut for games I'm looking forward to, as my circle of friends aren't really gamers, but this has piqued my interest regardless. Split Fiction is a co-op action-adventure game from It Takes Two developer Hazelight that sees you play as Zoe or Mio, one of 2 authors who end up trapped in their stories. As their sci-fi and fantasy worlds intertwine, the 2 strangers must work together to overcome the dangers they have created and escape their fictional worlds. It's an interesting concept, and as someone who truly loves crafting stories and meta-narratives, it's something that's right up my alley. Though I will admit that the story trailer didn't quite put its best foot forward, the overly feel-good trailer came across just a tad cringy. Its premise got me hooked, and it was solid enough to get my non-gamer wife interested in being my co-op partner for my playthrough. Split Fiction is due to release on the 6th of March. Mindseye unfortunately didn't show off the right things in its trailer. Developed by ex-GTA producer Leslie Benz's studio Build a Rocket Boy, Mindseye is touted as GTA meets Cyberpunk, but the trailer did little to set itself apart. Pushing high-octane car chasers and a plot revolving around ex-soldier Jacob Diaz searching for answers in a world overrun by greed as his mind's eye implant haunts him with visions of his past, Mindseye trailer did little to differentiate itself. The decisions you make and the characters you choose to trust will impact your story. I've heard that before. The gameplay trailers focus on car chases and dull shooting felt generic and reminiscent of a bad mobile game trailer. It was missing that wow factor you'd hope for in an announcement like this. Releasing in late 2025, I really hope Build a Rocket Boy proved me wrong, but so far, I'm not impressed. Okay, I know a lot of people seemed quite hyped about this, and many more were disappointed that a sequel wasn't announced, but I really can't get behind a remaster of a game that's only one generation old. Sure, it's going to be adding some new features that take advantage of the PS5's extra power, but what is there to remaster? The original still looks great and runs well, so much so that as far as I can tell, the two versions are practically indistinguishable. Sony get half a win for allowing owners of the PS4 version the opportunity to upgrade at a reduced cost, meaning that if you pick up a copy of Days Gone secondhand or on sale, you can get this remaster on the cheap. But really, that just goes to show that this is essentially just DLC. Why are we excited about this? Days Gone Remastered releases in April. Dreams of Another is a game I feel I should be a lot more excited about. It's a trippy shooter with unique visual style, but the biggest impression Dreams of Another left for me was that it just seemed a little dull. Built around the philosophical concept of no creation without destruction, instead of shooting things to destroy them, your shots will bring objects into existence. There's potential here for some unique exploration and puzzle elements, but I can't help wondering how quickly the gimmick will outstay its welcome. It's another one that I hope proves me wrong, but for now I'm going to need a bit more convincing. Dreams of Another is expected later in 2025. Another glorified roster update in a long-running sports franchise wouldn't have usually found itself on this list, but I feel like WWE 2K25 has taken me back 15 years to gaming's brief obsession with virtual worlds. The Island is WWE 2K25's no doubt one-off gimmick that will see players able to explore what is essentially WWE the MMO, offering a few themed locations for players to congregate, sponsored locations, quests, and matches to partake in. The island feels like a weird throwback that is undoubtedly old school way of implementing live service features into a game that probably didn't need it. WWE's not really my thing, but this is such an odd direction that it's put the game on my radar for all the wrong reasons. WWE 2K25 will release March 14th or March 7th if you've got the more expensive versions. Metal Eden is a movement-based shooter that's essentially if Doom Eternal and Cyberpunk had a baby. Having thoroughly enjoyed Doom 2016, but finding Doom Eternal's dialing up of the gameplay to 11 frustratingly overstimulating, movement-based shooters like this have lost their appeal for me. Metal Eden does itself no favours by managing to look as generic sci-fi as it comes. The gameplay shown in the reveal trailer did not give anything particularly special or unique, mostly appearing to be a carbon copy of Doom Eternal but with less oomph. It's an inevitable comparison, and Metal Eden will have its work cut out to turn that comparison more favourable, not least as it releases May 6th, just a week before the release of Doom: The Dark Ages. Well, there we have it. 5 hits and 5 misses that stood out among the mediocrity of this year's State of Play. You can support the channel by hitting that subscribe button for more gaming content, including possible reviews of the games mentioned in this video. You can also leave a comment and tell me what your hits and misses were from this year's State of Play, or just leave a like. As always, thank you for watching and happy gaming.